creates mystery and intrigue. Questions like, "Why is going viral?" and "You won't believe who the groom is," instantly make people want to click for the answer. On the November 6, 2025, episode of Fox's reality television series Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, Kody Brown, a well-known figure from TLC's Sister Wives, opened up about the intricate and often painful fallout from his decades-long experiment with polygamy. The reality star, who once juggled the complexities of maintaining relationships with 4 wives and raising 18 children, spoke with raw honesty about the unraveling of his plural marriages and the ripple effects on his family dynamics. His revelations, shared during a conversation with fellow recruit Andrew East, painted a vivid picture of a man grappling with the consequences of a lifestyle rooted in tradition but fraught with challenges in the modern world. A polygamist's past, Kody's life with 4 wives. Kody Brown's name has become synonymous with polygamy in American pop culture, largely due to Sister Wives, a reality show that has chronicled his family's journey since 2010. For over a decade, viewers followed Kody as he navigated the emotional, logistical, and societal complexities of maintaining a plural family with his 4 wives, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. Together, the family raised 18 children, creating a sprawling household that, at its peak, was a testament to their commitment to their fundamentalist Mormon beliefs, which include polygamy as a tenet of spiritual fulfillment. Kody's life as a polygamist was not a choice made in isolation but one deeply tied to his upbringing and cultural roots. Born into a family that embraced polygamy, Kody was shaped by the example of his father, who himself had 3 wives. This background normalized the practice for Kody, who saw it not as an aberration but as a legitimate path to building a family and fulfilling religious obligations. In the early years of Sister Wives, Kody often spoke of the spiritual and emotional rewards of polygamy, portraying it as a way to create a large, interconnected family bound by shared values and mutual support. However, beneath the surface of this idealized portrayal lay a web of challenges that would eventually strain the family's unity. Polygamy, as Kody's story reveals, demands an extraordinary level of emotional intelligence, communication, and compromise, qualities that, over time, proved difficult to sustain across 4 marriages. The dissolution of 3 of those marriages, Christine's departure in November 2021, Janelle's in December 2022, and Meri's in January 2023, marked a turning point in Kody's life, forcing him to confront the realities of a lifestyle he once championed. The collapse of a plural family. The unraveling of Kody's marriages was neither sudden nor simple. Each wife's decision to leave was the culmination of years of tension, differing expectations, and evolving personal priorities. Christine, the first to exit, cited a lack of emotional connection and fulfillment in her spiritual marriage to Kody. Her departure sent shockwaves through the family, challenging the narrative of unity that had been a cornerstone of Sister Wives. Janelle, known for her pragmatic approach to the family's dynamics, followed a year later, expressing frustration with the inequalities in Kody's attention and resources. Meri, who had been with Kody the longest, finalized the trio of exits, acknowledging that their relationship had deteriorated beyond repair. During his appearance on Special Forces, Kody reflected on these losses with a mix of resignation and introspection. When asked by Andrew East about the pros and cons of polygamy, Kody was unequivocal in his assessment: "The challenges far outweighed the benefits. I had 18 kids with 4 wives. It has been 3 divorces, and I would never do that again. I would never marry again," he stated. This stark declaration marked a significant departure from the optimistic, sometimes defiant tone he had adopted in earlier seasons of Sister Wives, where he often defended polygamy as a viable and fulfilling lifestyle. Kody's words on Special Forces reflect a man who has come to terms with the limitations of his past choices. The dissolution of his marriages was not just a personal failure but a public one, played out under the scrutiny of television cameras and a global audience. The emotional toll of these separations was compounded by the strain on his relationships with his children, many of whom have struggled to navigate their parents' fractured dynamics. The impact on family ties. One of the most poignant aspects of Kody's reflections on Special Forces was his acknowledgement of the bad blood that has emerged within his family. The breakdown of his marriages has not only affected his relationships with his ex-wives but has also created rifts with some of his 18 children. In some cases with my children, communication has ceased, Kody admitted, revealing the depth of the fallout. For a man who once prided himself on being the patriarch of a large, harmonious family, this estrangement represents a profound loss. Kody's relationships with his children have been a recurring theme on Sister Wives, particularly in recent seasons, where tensions between him and several of his older children have been documented. Some of his children have openly criticized his handling of family dynamics, particularly his perceived favoritism toward Robyn, his only remaining wife. These accusations have fueled a narrative of division within the Brown family, with Kody struggling to maintain the authority and respect he once commanded. During his conversation on Special Forces, Kody expressed disappointment over the state of his relationships with his children but was careful to distribute responsibility. There are probably aspects of the whole situation that I influenced, but there are probably certain things I won't own. I will own where I should, he said. This statement reflects a nuanced perspective, acknowledging his role in the family's challenges while also suggesting that external factors and individual choices by his ex-wives and children contributed to the current state of affairs. The emotional weight of these fractured relationships is palpable in Kody's words. For a man who built his identity around being a father and husband to a large plural family, the loss of connection with his children is a source of deep regret. Yet, his reluctance to accept full blame indicates a complex interplay of accountability and self-preservation, as he navigates the public and private consequences of his family's unraveling. Polygamy as a cultural legacy. Kody's reflections on Special Forces also shed light on the cultural and familial roots of his polygamous lifestyle. I grew up in an entire culture that had it as a side note to their belief system. My dad had 3 wives, he shared, providing context for his decision to embrace polygamy. This upbringing normalized the practice for Kody, framing it as a natural extension of his religious and cultural identity rather than a radical departure from societal norms. The fundamentalist Mormon community in which Kody was raised views polygamy as a sacred principle, rooted in early teachings of The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints (LDS Church). While the mainstream LDS Church officially disavowed polygamy in 1890, some splinter groups, including the one Kody's family was associated with, continued to practice it as a means of achieving spiritual exaltation. For Kody, entering into plural marriage was not just a personal choice but a way of honoring his heritage and fulfilling his faith.